You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net.
You're watching the Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 Pace.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Oh, I don't like that.
How's that?
No, well, hold on. It's too small.
It is.
That's what she said.
No, that's what you said.
No, that's not what I said. Put words in my mouth. Typical man trying to shove something in my face. No, that's a woman. Men shove things in your mouth. Women shove things in your face. Anyways, hi guys.
Hi guys, how you doing?
We're still learning the new StreamYard setup, I guess.
Correct.
No, I did you see you can change it to black? The background. I have mine black. You got light and dark.
I didn't notice.
You hear me okay? I adjusted my microphone.
No,
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you from sitting back there. You know,
I'm trying to understand.
When you bump into your microphone, this is what you hear. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I haven't bumped into my microphone.
These microphones, Mary Jane, is what I'm saying.
I know. I hear you. You're on me already. I got it. Jump up the mic. Got it.
Jump up the mic. Yeah. So how was everybody's weekend?
Long and boring.
Was it?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Mine was busy.
Oh, I would just want to say I was saying fantastic to my weekend, not to Al's long and boring weekend. Mine was fantastic.
That's what I took it as.
Okay. I was like, I wasn't saying his weekend was fantastic because it was long and boring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trying to get into a box. So I know that our town beside us, Norwood, they had their annual fair. And we didn't have super warm temperatures. Still busy.
That's good.
Yeah. It was -1 this morning when I woke up.
Was it?
Yep. I still got one plant in the greenhouse.
You can keep the -1. We're getting close though.
Do you still have plants out?
Yeah. All of them.
I have a CBD one out with colas this fucking big.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna see how long it'll go. They're all sitting there. The hairs are all happy and singing and green.
Correct. Nice.
So, as soon as they start curling, I'll go out there with the hatchet saw and cut it down.
Start cutting them down.
Well, no, they're all done. I even took Dean's down on the weekend.
Oh. It's
been really cold at night here. The Pineapple Express and the Northern Lights. Yeah, I saw that. They're not meant for this climate. So evidently though the hemp is. So I don't know.
It is. Well, I'm doing my preliminary trimming, Mary Jane. I haven't started my trimming yet, but just doing my preliminary trimming.
On the plant trimming?
Look at my scissors. It's just
they're gooey.
Yeah, exactly, Al. On my plant trimming.
Well, the weather is calling for snow last night in certain parts of
within a couple of weeks.
Ontario. No, like last night they were calling for snow in certain places. That's why I'm like, don't be surprised. Pull them in as soon as if your plants are done, don't leave them. Pull them in. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to other people.
Yeah, mine quickly changed colors really quick. Yeah. There's another one. Mine really changed colors quick. So I
Yeah.
just started trimming away.
Yep.
And knowing I couldn't keep up. So, but yeah, you have to make a trip up here, MJ.
Yeah. I have
When
a
you
friend
available?
who
When you
brought
available?
hers inside actually. 'Cause
Inside.
she was growing in one of those buckets.
Oh yeah.
So she brought it in. She has like a front porch, like a kind of like a green room area, but
Yeah.
she brought it in just to finish it off last couple of days.
I have my 2 little experiments sitting in the window, and they're in dirt, but I don't think I'm going to keep them there much longer because they're starting to wilt and
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
they're
as the
just
cold
tops.
comes,
They're just tops, right? So they're
Yeah.
just sitting in the window. But yeah,
probably
when the cold
the,
comes, it you can see it's doing the same thing in the greenhouse as it is doing to the trees outside. It's dropping the leaves on their own. There are absolutely
Yeah.
no
And changing the
leaves on
colors.
my plants at all. Changing colors,
Yeah.
yep,
Well,
and
That
dropping the leaves.
yeah.
I just want to say when I first started growing and I was growing indoors, I had no idea what was happening with my plants towards the end because the leaves were changing colors and falling off. And normally that's a sign of like something wrong with your plant. And then I asked a bunch of growers and they're like, what happens in the fall to the trees? I was
Happens
like, the
exactly.
leaves change colors, they fall. He's like, I'm like,
And
okay,
this-
never
oh,
mind.
this is why I kept saying my grow sucks, because there was nothing down below.
Okay.
It's all
Nope.
up top.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I eliminated everything down below, but the
Well, I was doing that
what's
too,
the-
Al, to promote new growth, but there was no new growth at all. It just kept going taller. It was if I had not taken the tops off when I did, the thing be 7 feet tall now. It was hitting the ceiling in the greenhouse,
the
which I've lost 3 panels of, by the way.
Now, as the guy who taught me how to grow living organics, he said to me, well, he says, don't let your temperature drop below 60. And I said, why? And he says, microlife is no different than you or me. Neither one of us likes working in the cold. So when you're not working in the cold, there's no nutrients going through the plants, so on and so forth. So
Well, you know what? I have to say I am actually surprised at the water intake over the last 3 weeks. They're going through a full 15-gallon tub every 2 days. Not so much now, there's only one out there, but they were just sucking it up.
Well, usually that's a sign of your buds are sucking it up or using it or intaking, and it can, they're growing bigger.
That's what I was just, I didn't think that the input into the plant or the water input would be that high when it's only bud, but they just seem to love it and suck it up.
I find that's strain dependent too, right? Because I've had different strains.
Dependent on a lot of things.
I've had different strains in the same tent and could never figure out why the Kush ones, the Violator Kush, were always more thirsty than the other ones. They just dried up faster or sucked up the water faster. I don't know.
Yeah, we have bigger buds on those ones.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, yeah, it was the bigger.
But it's growing. It's all growing. Whether you're growing, it's all growing bigger buds. It's all part of growing, right? So
I like when the leaves change colors, when it gets a little cool at night and it brings out the colors of the purples and the blues.
They're already down here. There's nothing.
Oh, I mean the cannabis.
Everything's on the ground. Everything is on the ground now. And we I give it another couple of weeks before there's snow. We've already had one snow alert, but we didn't have snow. We've had several frosts.
No. Yeah, no frost yet. No frost.
And bears. Although that's going to stop soon.
Yeah, because they're going to sleep.
They are out there in droves. I mean, every 20 minutes or so,
Mhm.
I see alerts on the bear page. We have a town bear watch page,
Ah.
and so you see the alerts, and it's funny. People pick at people. People should really learn how to secure their garbage. Like they go into the fucking garage. They have ripped open the door several times on Dean's garage to get at the garbage.
Wow.
They've started ripping my deck apart to get rid of the garbage. So I got an alarm. I have not had any bears at the garbage bins since, because
Oh.
when they walk up to it, they hear wow, and they're
That's
so
why the
quick.
alarm.
They're so quick. Well, it's James Brown, and my neighbors must hate me, but they're so quick leaving. I'm not even getting them on video.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good thing.
So are your neighbors hating you because of the sound, or because now the bears are going through their backyard?
I talked to one neighbor on one side of me, and he wouldn't say a thing because he's older and he probably can't hear anything in the house. But it startled me. I went out to the car and I forgot it was there, and it startled me. It's fucking loud.
Oh, get some gone.
Well, no, I mean, I don't care if they walk through the yard. I really don't. It's just stay away from the
Mhm.
fucking garbage. Now that everything's dying in the back in the little foresty area, I'm finding bags. Right, I'm finding garbage bags, ripped open garbage bags that they've been stashing back there.
Oh.
You
For
know,
next time.
for a snacky poo, I guess. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So we got our regular stuff on the show today, right? We got a motivational moment. We got our high five list, right? We got some recipes. We got some events.
We got some news.
We got some news.
Yep.
I'm not sure which one of those stories we're covering, but there was lots that came.
Well,
from
no,
it.
there's just general conversation stuff there. The one that I found interesting at the last there that we'll talk about later is the OCS is making some changes.
Oh, okay. I think I know which story you're referring to.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm always interested when the OCS pipes up and say we're making changes, because every
I don't know
time
if
they
they-
make changes, the changes don't really ever come.
All righty. Well, shall we take a quick break and then come back with the motivational moment?
No, I don't want to.
Warnings.
Clicky, clicky.
Oh, clicky, clicky. All right. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace Re-Rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning. There we go.
All right. Okay. So our motivational moment for today is about perseverance. Perseverance is something that I had to pull this weekend because I did an extremely difficult challenge where Timmy and I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Niagara Falls and like all of the areas, but we were on Clifton Hill and we wanted to go to the Whirlpool area, which is about 15-minute drive, hour-long walk. We decided we were going to walk it. Knowing full well that once we got to the Whirlpool, we'd have to go down a flight of stairs, go for another like hour-long hike, and then walk all the way back. So needless to say, perseverance was something that I had to pull in to my own life. And as I always say, I always bring a little bit of me to you guys. So I want to talk today about perseverance and the fact that it is the key to overcoming most of life's challenges that might seem insurmountable. There are times when the weight of difficult situations are going to feel like it's pulling you down, tempting you to take an easier path or just give up altogether. Okay. I just want to say I couldn't have done that on this trip, because if I did that, I would have had to call for somebody to helicopter in to come and get me, because I was literally trapped at the bottom of the Niagara Gorge if I didn't go up these stairs. And pulling a little bit of perseverance allowed me to actually accomplish something that I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. It took 2.5 minutes to get down that flight of stairs. It took 14 minutes and 14 seconds to get up the stairs. And I will say that I feel more accomplished. And that's exactly what I wrote here. True growth actually happens when we're pushing ourselves through the moment. Like when my heart was pounding and feeling like it was beating deep down in my uterus, which I didn't even know was possible. I just kept going, especially when I just watched an old man run up the stairs beside me. I'm like, if you can do this, I can do this.
Was it the number of stairs, or was it the height that you had to climb?
Both. There was a lot of different factors. It wasn't just regular stairs. It was like built stairs where it's like ground and then there's like wood around the edge and you're walking from rocks, so it's not level. Then the steps you walk on here, they're all standard. They're all the same distance apart. This one was not. When we were going down the stairs, I actually had to turn sideways on some of them because I have short legs. And the drop was almost like the size of a small child. So it was difficult. But if you just keep, I actually had to lay down when I got to the top of the hill. I laid on the ground and was like trying to catch my breath. But what an accomplishment. I can say that I spent my day, I took like 30,000 steps that day. I got some amazing photos. I feel really thankful too, because if it didn't have this able body, I wouldn't have been able to go down those stairs. I never would have seen that. That's something in my life that I would have missed. So
what was the determining thing that made you go down, that wanted you to go down those stairs?
That made me want to go down there? Just adventure. I like to go on adventures and see new things. And I just really like spending time with Timmy. So that's what we did. And somebody very smart once said, it always seems impossible until it's done. Yeah. And I don't care if it's a recipe or, an art project. You look at it and you're like, nah, I can't make that. That cake's too pretty. And then all of a sudden you try it and you're like, well, holy shit, I made a pretty cake.
I got some recipes later on that you might like. Might try.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But that's my motivational moment for the day, is just hoping to get you to be a little bit more, perseverance. I don't know. Just have a little bit more perseverance.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For when challenges look tough, like climbing that set of stairs.
Well, what are you gonna do? Lay down and die? No,
you got to get up, climb that hill. So,
yeah, it was even harder or funnier because I had the Timmy Says I Can shirt on. I was like, I can't do it.
Timmy says you can.
That's exactly what he said to me, and I was like, oh, okay, fine, let's go.
Let's go.
And I had to take a break about halfway up. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they had little spots, like little landings and like stumps and stools you could like sit on for that reason.
Take a break. Yeah. Good. Yeah. All right. Al, you ready, buddy?
Whatever works, bud.
Clickety click.
It's certainly high on the list.
All right. Today, my list, seeing as Halloween is coming, I have the upcoming horror movies to watch this fall.
Ooh.
So if you're a fan of horror movies, I'm trying to figure out how to load the darn thing.
Scary, right? Oh,
what?
Yeah, scary movies.
Horror movies. Not horror
Horror.
movies, not porn.
Horror.
Horror movies.
I should make it sure.
All right, so we'll watch this. If you've seen them, we'll come back and talk about them. And if not, well, then we'll go on to the next segment.
All right.
Get ready, Fresh Fam. It's time for the What to Watch Fall Horror Preview. Like we discussed last week, already in theaters is the long-awaited sequel, Beetlejuice, which is certified fresh on the tomato meter and soon to be verified hot from audiences, along with the psychological horror flick The Front Room starring Brandy Norwood. Check out that episode if you haven't already.
Just to remind you, I'm a vegetarian.
Our gift to you.
That is so...
Louise, doctor's orders.
As for looking ahead, in theaters this Friday the 13th, love that coincidence by the way, is the mystery thriller Speak No Evil. It stars James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis and follows a family whose dream vacation turns into an absolute nightmare instead. It's actually a remake of the 2022 Danish film of the same name, which is certified fresh and was produced by horror aficionado Jason Blum via his Blumhouse Productions, both great signs.
Pretty girls should always smile.
In theaters Friday, September 20th is The Substance, which is considered a body horror film. It stars Demi Moore as an aging celebrity who takes a mysterious drug that creates a younger, better version of herself with more horrifying side effects. It also stars Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid. The Substance is already certified fresh after premiering at Cannes earlier this year, where it won Best Screenplay and got one of those famous 10-minute standing ovations. Can you imagine standing and clapping for that long?
Life's been hard on you boys since the world ended. But remember, one touch without a rope on is all it takes.
Another one in theaters on September 20th is the survival horror film Never Let Go. It stars Halle Berry as the matriarch of a family that has been haunted by an evil spirit for years, only for things to get even worse when one of her kids starts to question if the evil is real or not. It was directed by Alexander Aja, who's a stud in the horror genre with movies like The Hills Have Eyes, Piranha 3D, and Crawl.
Oh, hey, neighbor.
People can be cruel, I imagine.
All unhappiness in life comes from not accepting what is.
Big day on September 20th for horror because also opening in theaters is a black comedy and psychological thriller called A Different Man. It stars Sebastian Stan as a guy named Edward who, after having surgery to fix a genetic condition and start a new life, becomes obsessed with the actor who's playing Edward in a play about his life. The movie premiered at Sundance back in January and is fresh on the tomato meter, with critics praising its bold and provocative approach to serious themes.
Batman?
It's an old spooky story Dad used to tell me and Liam to keep us in line.
Also in theaters on September 27th is the dark horror film Bagman. This one centers around a father who barely escaped a creepy mythical creature known as the Bagman during his childhood, only for it to return years later to go after his family. Legend has it that Bagman takes kids and stuffs them into his gross, rotting bag forever. The movie stars Sam Claflin, who we loved on that show, Daisy Jones and the Six, and also includes some familiar faces like Antonia Thomas and Stephen Cree. Hitting Netflix on Friday, October 4th, is the satirical dystopian thriller, The Platform 2. This Spanish film is the follow-up to, you guessed it, 2020's The Platform. You're so smart. Which is certified fresh and strong on the popcorn meter too. Number 2 returns to the same futuristic world where prisoners are housed in tower-style vertical cells, while a free-floating platform delivers food from top to bottom, leading to crummy leftovers and plenty of conflict. What a dope premise. Premiering on Shudder on Friday, October 4th is VHS Beyond, the 7th installment in the VHS franchise. Like those before it, this is a found footage horror anthology movie with segments focusing this time on sci-fi to poke fun at the many classic horror franchises that inevitably take a sequel to space. Gotta love it. Among the directors for this one are actor Justin Long and longtime Scream queen Katie Siegel.
Who is this Santa? He's scaring my kid.
Yeah,
He's scaring me too.
Opening in theaters on Friday, October 11th is the slasher film Terrifier 3. It was written and directed by Damien Leone and once again centered around his character, Art the Clown, only this time with a Christmas Eve setting. The movie follows Terrifier 2 from a couple years ago and will reintroduce the possessed survivor Victoria for the first 2 movies, but now in a bigger role. Gross. I mean, yes.
Pull it together and get back out there. No, I will not let this thing use me.
And finally, in theaters on Friday, October 18th, is yet another sequel in the form of Smile 2. This horror thriller is the follow-up to Parker Finn's 2022 hit Smile, this time starring Naomi Scott as a pop star who experiences some terrifying events right before she's about to go on tour. It also has some other recognizable talents like Rosemary DeWitt, Raul Castillo, and Kyle Gallner, the latter of which is reprising his role from the first movie. Holy horror, folks. It's going to be a fun fall. For the full list of our 2024 fall horror preview, go to RottenTomatoes.com, where you'll also get the latest updates on scores and reviews for everything we mentioned. Until next week, stay fresh.
Wow. That was a lot of movies.
That is a lot of movies.
It is a lot of movies. I've never seen any of the originals or anything. Because there was a couple
there's some remakes there and there's some originals. Yeah.
I mean, like part 2, part 3.
I'm not into the creepy movie genre, really. Like, and when I mean the creepy movie genre, I mean like It and things like that. They just creep me out now. I used to enjoy the slasher movies like everybody else, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, still watch them, Michael Myers. I love the Merkins. Do you know what I'm talking about? Merkins? No. It's a group of people that dress up as the big icon slasher guys, and they do music videos and sing and funny little setups and things like that. But it's quite funny. But anyways, that's my movie list. I'm a big movie buff, and
I was surprised to see The Substance on there because I don't consider I would consider that more a thriller than a scary movie.
I don't know how this guy ranks. It was the best. It was the best of the list that I found.
Yeah, I get. Well, it would still be creepy. It's just interesting to me because, like, I don't like scary movies, but I guess what people find scary is different depending on each person.
I like a thriller.
There's
like
scary, and then there's gross.
Yep. I like the gross.
So that's how you separate it. Scary.
Yeah, because I look at thrillers and horrors.
Yep.
Scary movies all being the same. It's whether they're gross or not.
But I like the old Vincent Price movies. House on Haunted Hill, things like that. And then I like to watch the remakes to see what they've done. I recently watched the new Alien movie, Romulus, which was very, very well done. No, Ripley, but very well done. And so kind
of that gross or scary?
The original Alien movie was very scary to a lot of people.
Okay.
Right?
Because I don't separate them.
What I'm getting at is I'm not trying to separate it. What I'm trying to say is it was done in the original manner of the alien coming back and them dealing with it. It was done like the original was. They even had some of the original characters brought back into it.
That's nice when they do that.
I like that too. Yeah.
I don't like scary movies. And when you got that, the reason why I was asking about the differentiation between how you separate them is because I separate them into the level of fear is, or not the level, but where is the fear coming from? Is the threat from humans, like in a movie like Saw, or is the threat from aliens or ghosts, like in Aliens or 13 Ghosts or anything like that? Because if it's a movie that has to do with ghosts or aliens or anything non-human, I can't watch it.
Can you watch like The Shining?
Maybe if it, I don't think I've seen it, but
Could you watch the Norman movies, the Bates Motel movies?
yeah, I've seen those.
Okay. How, movies that get me are movies like The Shining, pretty much anything Alfred Hitchcock, because it's gripping. You don't know what's going
Hitchcock
to be.
was classic.
It's Boo.
Like Vincent Price.
Yeah. My ultimate favorite movie is the first Psycho movie, and runner up is The Shining. 1 second, Rosalie, lay down, please, and thank you.
Yeah,
she's going after kitty snacks again.
My dad made me watch The Blob and The Birds, and and I watched them when I was like 3 and 4. So I don't like scary, non-human. You know what I mean? Like, I could take a psychotic killer movie over a movie about the fly. You know, the fly on the thing.
The Fly.
Like, yeah, like, how am I afraid of that?
Used to sneak us into the movies when we were kids, under the blanket kind of thing. I'm sure your parents did it too, Al. And
Frankenstein
to the drive-in. You know what it was for us? The Exorcist.
Yeah, my sisters went to that.
I saw The Exorcist when it first came out at a drive-in theater that my mom and her boyfriend snuck us into. Also, Apocalypse Now, they did the same. I remember those two movies. But that, a 40-foot Linda Blair throwing up was at a very young age. I don't like gross. I don't mind slasher movies. A good thriller. Cape Fear. You ever seen Cape Fear?
No.
The original Cape Fear was Robert. I can't remember his last name. Lancaster, maybe. And then the remake was the other Robert De Niro, who was really, really fucking creepy in that movie. He plays a good creepy guy. Jim Carrey plays a really good creepy guy, as did Robin Williams. That movie that he did was Al's Photo.
Al's Photo.
Yeah, he worked at a photo place.
Oh, okay.
Developing pictures, and he was really creepy about things. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
All right.
I like thrillers, but not scary.
But you see, a thriller could be a drama as well, right?
Like this.
Yes, that's an awesome movie. I saw that. Michael Douglas, and I believe Sharon Stone.
Maybe. I'm not. I can't remember. I'll have to watch it.
I may be wrong
Such
who
a good
that is,
movie.
but it's a good one. Devil's Advocate's a good thriller.
Yeah, that one.
Well. That's
Keanu
Brad
Reeves.
Pitt and
Brad
Al
Pitt.
Pacino. Anyways, Al, you look like you're ready to say something.
Yeah, I watched the movie over the weekend, and the next
Oh
thing
my
I
God,
heard,
really?
Next thing I heard was the intro's not even over yet. And you're already sleeping.
Oh, you fell asleep.
Oh yeah, I always
Must
do.
have been a good movie. Hope you didn't pay to go see it in a theater.
No, didn't pay. No.
I fell asleep in a movie. In the first time I fell asleep in a movie theater, I know exactly what movie it was and where I saw it. It was at the old Cornet Theater, which is now a thrift store or whatever, on Yonge Street. And you're gonna have to excuse me. I've got activity outside. I have to go make sure they're not in the garbage. Just give me one. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Right.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll remember. I'll remember.
You think he's got bears?
Maybe just
He
passing
said
through.
outside. He
Yeah.
must not be near the alarm.
Oh, maybe that's the alarm went off. That's why you had to
Maybe
go
the
check.
alarm went off.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in a movie theater. I've
Oh.
left a movie theater
Yeah.
out of anger during a movie, but like Al, like I could tell you what movie
sorry.
it was.
Yeah, I know. I've fallen asleep in a movie theater.
Must have been a chipmunk.
No, never. What movie did you fall asleep with, Al?
It was at the Cornet Theater, and it was Delta Force 2.
Okay.
Hector says hi, everybody.
Hi, Hector.
Morning.
Hector
Delta
is down
Force
in
2
sunny
was
warm.
Chuck Norris way back when, and he's still acting. He's in a new movie coming out soon. At 80 fucking years old, he plays a DEA agent or something like that. Or he's like 83 or something like that now, and he's still doing workout videos. He still does karate. He works out every day, and I mean looks fit, but he looks like a wrinkled Chuck Norris.
Well, he's getting to that age, right?
Yeah, I mean the 80 seems to be the new 60.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, at times I feel like 80 when I'm in my 60s.
Oh, dude, that's how I've been feeling with this. Weather changes get me bad.
Yeah. All righty. Are we done the list?
Oh, yeah. Long time ago.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's get into some munchies. And I got to hit the right button.
You got to put a cha-cha-cha at the end, bud.
At the end? Okay, if I remember. Here we go. 11 easy cannabis recipes that people can try at home.
And I bet you 4 of them have peanut butter.
Let's find out. We'll close that off. Herbal tea. Oh, just so you know, it does call for cannabis butter and oils. And when I get down to the bottom, there is the recipe in order to create those. So anybody asks. Herbal tea. Right there you can make. Got some honey, milk, tincture, cannabis tincture that you use. All the instructions are there. I'm not going to read through all the instructions of everything.
Ooh, a cannabis French toast with
cinnamon. Yeah. I haven't had that one yet. Something to try. 2 tablespoons of can butter, they say. And they say right there, see directions below the recipe.
2 teaspoons.
2 tablespoons, which doesn't seem like a
can
lot.
of butter. That's not a lot.
Can of butter. Yeah. All right. Cooking can of butter popcorn.
I've had that before.
Yeah.
I used to take medicated butter and put it in the drip thing on my air popper, and it just makes it all on its own.
Canna bread. Canana bread.
Canana bread.
Canana. Must be bananas in that recipe. I'm looking for them. Yep, 3 of them. Mash them. Grandma's Christmas fudge. Cannabis Christmas fudge.
Fudge is always yummy.
Fudge is always yummy. Okay. Grasshopper ice cream. European style cannabis infused hot cocoa. And I'm going to put this list, just so everybody knows, I'm going to put this list in our chat.
Hopefully it's a short one.
No, it looks pretty
URL short. No, a short URL.
Yeah, it looks long.
Oh.
Cannabis coffee creamer.
That'd be an easy one to make.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this one. Steak with can of butter.
I've had that.
Have you?
Yes. I've also done mushrooms in can of butter. And I've also done craft dinner because I had no margarine. All I had was can of butter, and I felt like having a box. So
Inch and a half steak.
Yep.
Mary Jane's
mug cakes.
Spelled differently than MJ. Crispy cannabis treats. Sounds like Rice Krispie squares. There we go, right there. 8.5 cups of Rice Krispies.
And look at that. No peanut butter.
No peanut butter. All the way through.
Apparently, Rice Krispie squares are really easy to medicate and hold the medication well.
Remember, it's because of the
butter and the marshmallow. Yeah.
I just want to say, substitute the can of butter with can of coconut oil in your Rice Krispie squares and add a little bit of coconut flavoring to them.
A lot of people do that.
Oh, so good.
Well, there's a recipe right here. How to make can of butter ingredients, and there's the recipe for those who don't know how to make it, as well as how to make cannabis oil with the oil that your choice, whether it's coconut oil or olive oil. The recipe is here. Tells you how to make it. And then they got a bunch of questions.
Frequently asked questions.
Yeah. What is
there are lots of books out there specifically on cooking with cannabis as well. So.
Yes, yeah, there is.
Oh my God, something keeps setting off the alarm.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but every time I look at the camera, there's nothing there. It's probably the chipmunks.
Oh yeah, it could be very well.
They set it off all the time. Or leaves.
Okay, 11 easy.
That was a good list, Al. That one.
Yes.
You gonna post that in our chat?
Yeah. I'm just typing it out now in the chat.
I feel like that list just solidifies what we've been talking about all the time when it comes to edibles. If you have cannabis oil or cannabis butter and you have a recipe, you literally can make whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? And even if you make the oil, it goes beyond what you can consume, because at that point you can start making salves and lotions with it as well.
I love infusing grapeseed oil.
I'm looking forward to when I have enough trim in that to making a good batch of oil and seeing how I've never actually made it. I've seen it being made, but I've never done it myself.
Now you're talking about the green oil.
I'm talking about the oil everybody loves, the RSO or the FICO, as they call it. Motion detected at the backyard.
Full extract cannabis oil.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those that don't know FICO.
That's FICO stands for.
I'm surprised nobody's come out with a song called FICO. FICO. like
Ricola.
Yeah, wouldn't that be Ficola?
You could change the Peter Gabriel lyrics of Pico. Anyways.
No.
Alrighty. Healthy habits. We got any healthy habits today, MJ?
I've got something about gratitude.
What's that?
I do have something. I wrote something on gratitude.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go.
All right. So I figured I would pick something fitting for Thanksgiving, since we just celebrated Thanksgiving. At least here in Canada, we did. So I wanted to talk a little bit about gratitude journaling. It's something that you can do. It's a simple yet powerful practice that involves taking just a few moments every day to reflect on and write down things that you're grateful for. This habit can help shift your focus from stress or negativity to positive aspects of your life, and can help foster a more optimistic and resilient mindset. It's very simple if you want to start it. A couple things you can do is choose a time of day. Sit 5 to 10 minutes. A lot of people like to do this in the morning to set a positive tone for the day, or at nighttime to reflect on the day's events before they actually close down their mind for the day. Keep it simple. Doesn't have to be a fancy journal. Literally can just be a scrap piece of paper or an app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is consistency. What you're going to do is you're going to write 3 things down. Every day, just write 3 things that you're grateful for. Could be anything. I'm grateful for the support I received from my family, or I'm grateful for the cup of coffee that I had this morning. Just something very simple. But be specific. The more specific you are, the more you'll feel that you're connecting with the feeling of gratitude. Rather than saying, I'm thankful for my job, you can write down, I'm thankful for the support that my colleague gave me on a challenging project today. That's the specificness, okay?
Right.
And then reflect on your progress. Go back occasionally and look at your past entries and see where you were and where you are. It also helps by reminding you the positive moments and where you were and the progress you've made. There are benefits such as increased positivity, reduced stress, enhanced resilience. Once you shift your focus and start working looking at the things that you appreciate, you reduce all the negatives. Focusing on gratitude has been shown to lower stress levels because you're only looking at the positive.
Correct.
Here's a pro tip for anybody who's like, yeah, I'm already thankful. I'm already writing these journals. I don't need this. Maybe to deepen the practice, you can also incorporate moments of mindfulness by taking a few deep breaths as you're writing these things. Don't just write these things. Try and fully immerse yourself in the moment, and maybe do it in hand with some meditation. But it's a very, very simple habit that is used, can also transform your way to cultivate a positive mindset. I know I've mentioned that a couple weeks ago. And just appreciate the good things in life, no matter how small it is. Like, I am extremely thankful, like I said, that I have my health, I have my legs. I was able to go down those stairs, or else I would miss out on certain things in my life. So wherever you are in your life, I hope that you can take a moment and just be thankful.
All
You
right.
want to know what I'm thankful for?
Yes.
I don't have to listen to people being thankful on Facebook.
I know which people you're talking about.
Anyways.
All right.
I also am thankful. I share that with you.
All righty. On to our quick little promo and then into the news. Unless you got more healthy habits.
No, that's it for this week.
All right. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
That's a little early.
You were saying?
I
said that's a little early for me.
You're still in bed at 8 a.m.
Not necessarily. It's just still a little early.
Yeah, 8 a.m. in the morning it starts, and it can run right through till midnight. The only time it stops for sometimes about a minute, maybe. And that's just why we changed the
it went to about 10:30 last week.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little shorter now because we don't have the Green Crush running anymore. But there are
and this week, actually last 2 weeks there hasn't been a VAC video, and that's because I caught up to what they had in their system.
You need new ones.
So they've loaded a couple new ones, but I'm allowing them to get some time on their system, and then I'll put it onto ours.
Nice.
And,
so stay tuned for all that.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Yeah,
And for people who don't know what VAC is, it's the Veterans Action
It's VAC,
Council.
Veterans Action Council.
Veterans Action Council.com.
It's a tongue twister, apparently.
It's in the U.S. and they go around not only across the U.S. but other places around the world. They speak at the UN and they represent people in government and go at them. And
Brian has been around a long time doing stuff on his own. Al, is it Brian? Yeah, Brian.
There's a lot of them there that have been doing. Michael Kratwitz, he's been there for a long time.
I've known Al for a while. He's been on and off the show many years ago.
Al Byrne.
Byrne. That's it, not Brian.
And that's funny. You had all the right letters.
I don't know. I don't know the others though. But I mean, we've all met them, but I don't know the others offhand, other than Al, and of course Casper.
Yeah, and they have some great guests, doctors and advocates,
lawyers, and
yeah.
It's basically what it is it's a group of veterans who get together and have people come in and talk to them, and they record it so that we can learn from what they're doing.
Correct.
Yeah. And they're all veterans there.
All right, let's move on to the news. What do we got for news, Al?
Oh, more news.
We got lots for news, didn't we?
Well, I saw Al pop up with like 6 stories there, and I was going, "Holy smokes! Which one of these are you going to cover?"
Yeah, I seen a political one, and I was like, "Ooh,
that's the one."
You already run the thing.
What's
that?
that?
You already ran the thing. I'm really not into politics. But it seems to me that Kamala Harris is doing the pertinent thing. Hey, look at that! Al just happened to have that
right there, the headline.
Let me just say she's doing what is expected she would do, just like Mr. Trudeau did to suck us into his reform.
Yeah,
all I gotta say on the matter.
Would you prefer cannabis the way it was when it was illegal?
You know what, Al?
Under the Harper government?
I was having a conversation with somebody about that at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
there was 4 rules in the regulations before we went legal.
Yeah,
something like that. 4, 7, something like that. Right. Now there's 40 some.
Yeah, sure. There's laws that they put into place that weren't into place because cannabis wasn't legal, and they had. They didn't have any driving laws against cannabis, and so all those are added in for sure.
So there's a lot of hassle that has come out of legalization. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that I can walk into a store like a liquor store and buy whatever I want. Yes. Yeah. The prices are coming down. I don't know. Nothing's changed for me.
Yeah, and that's right. And there's things that, for example, that we lost with legalization.
That's what I mean.
Access to vapor lounges. But then there's things that we gained as patients from legalization. For example, our storage limits.
And you don't have to be licensed to grow in your home.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Well, for 4 plants anyway.
I completely agree. Pros and cons on both ends of things. MJ?
I don't know. To me it's in typical what's it called? Government political fashion for them to say one thing and do another, or like, I don't know. I immediately, as soon as I seen this, I was like, okay, so what is the opponent's stance on
Nope.
cannabis, and I check, and
Oh,
it's literally, for some reason, the other candidate, for like the candidate for the other party, believes that it should be up to every state.
Correct.
So like
Well,
he's
that's the way it
he's
is
behind
now.
Florida. Like
No,
he's
go ahead.
sorry,
Go
I
ahead,
was just
Megan.
gonna say, like Trump said that he supports states like Florida who are trying to get it
Correct.
legalized, but Kamala is going to the point where it's federally
Correct.
legalizing.
He wants to do
cannabis.
what Canada has done, and he wants to
No,
do.
no, he doesn't. He only, like MJ says, state rights.
That's what
Canada-
and that's what I was going to say, and he wants to keep it state by state.
Correct.
Right?
So
once you go federal, countrywide, it creates a whole other kit and caboodle of stuff that they have to deal with,
okay.
as we've found in Canada, right?
And we
Yes.
also found in Canada that the laws of cannabis were unevenly done across the country.
Unjust.
Yeah, even though they made it legal across all of Canada, all the rules are different in each province.
They're
Correct.
governed,
Yeah.
governed
Because
by
each
each province. Yeah.
correct. So that would be a combination of federal with as with states, adding stuff in there, whereas ours is federal with the provincial end of things, adding things in, and the municipal adds more. I could see the same thing happening in the U.S. The problem I see with states deciding is, let's say you have a state that is severely against cannabis. Should that state be allowed to have the death penalty for cannabis?
No.
Are there
why
any
not? It's
states
state
that
rights.
still have death penalty?
Huh?
Are there any
Yeah.
states that still have the death
Yeah,
penalty?
if you get caught with 60,000 plants, you could be put to death in the U.S. right now.
For plants.
Correct.
There are still some in jail for plants as well.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah. So I look at it as, if it's federal, you got interstate commerce, you've got protection to prevent states from enacting laws that are unjust, such as severe jail time for cannabis, whereas other states, a state would be free to sell or possess cannabis.
Sorry, I just want to fact check here because I fact checked the death penalty in the United States. It is reserved in 2024. It is now reserved for the most serious crimes. Death penalty can only be imposed for capital offenses, including murder, treason, genocide, or kidnapping of the president, a member of Congress, or a Supreme Court justice.
They say is the only time a death penalty is used.
Yeah.
Well, the guy that they've just arrested for the now third attempt on Mr. Trump is probably going to go that way.
The guy that they grabbed on the way. How do
Yeah.
you know that he was taking the gun to was going to shoot him? Well, here you go.
Well, how many?
He had a rifle and a handgun, I believe.
How many states are there? Because there's 15.
52.
There's 1-5. Wait.
Capital
1, 2,
punishment
3, 4,
for
14.
cannabis.
Welcome to
federal
Canadians
law allows
learning
death
about the
penalty for
U.S.
those who have extra
21. 21
Huh?
states have the death penalty. Currently,
Wow.
still.
Yeah.
Still.
It says
Wow.
here, U.S.
we do
federal
not.
law allows for the death penalty for those who have extraordinary amounts of drug, 60,000 kilograms or 60,000 plants, or are part of a continuing criminal enterprises.
We
and
don't have a
smuggling
death
contraband.
penalty here in Canada.
No.
No, we do not do that here. We ship them off to the U.S. to do that.
Yeah. Now, you said that was yours was in 2021? Yeah, this is from 2018.
Oh, no, mine was 2024. Yeah,
Okay.
Wikipedia says that U.S. federal law allows for death penalty for those who have extraordinary amounts of the drug of weed. 60,000 plants.
Yeah.
Who in
That's
their
a
right
farm in
mind,
Humboldt.
like who in their right mind is going to illegally grow
I don't know.
60,000 plants.
What do you think they
Or
do
have
in
60,000
Humboldt,
kilograms.
Mary Jane? What do you think they do in Humboldt,
Not
California?
in one area. They split that
They
shit
spread
up.
it out, yes,
Yeah,
but they do
you're
those
never gonna get
numbers
caught
right there.
for but not in one area. Come on now.
That's a lot of plants.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
kind of like when you're carrying a bunch of shit in your car you shouldn't be carrying. Don't go speeding down the highway. You're an
Yeah.
idiot. Like,
I know a few people who've done that.
I'm referring to those people. We all know those people. Because
Right.
it all hits Facebook like however many years ago. And then again and again.
Unfortunately, they are no longer alive, though, so we will not.
Not that person, no, but yeah. Facebook's just a cesspool of dumping ground of drama.
Yep.
That's still the same.
It certainly is not the same as it was. Anyways, next news, Al.
Next news. All right. Did you have another story you wanted to add?
You know
You
what?
had a bunch there. I don't have them up in front of me.
I saw you had something loaded.
Yeah, I had that loaded.
I already. Oh well, Cheech.
There was
and
one you
Chong-
said at the beginning of the show you wanted to talk about.
Cheech and Chong. I don't remember. Cheech and Chong has a new store opening, a new cannabis store opening in Portland.
Yeah.
So that's good for people in Portland. I wonder when they're going to open one in Canada.
I think we should talk about this one.
Oh, sorry, MJ. I was just bringing up. I just brought up the headline there for Al's
Bring
story.
bring that one up. But we should talk about the OCS and the new rules.
And I also want to talk about the wastewater in Halifax.
Right. Okay. So there's Cheech and Chong has opened the new store, and I can imagine that there will be more of them.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. There you go. It's just a short story. It's a video.
And it is a short story, but as well as on the Cheech and Chong thing, the Cheech and Chong's next movie is going to be coming out soon, and I don't know where or what network or anything, but they're doing their last movie, and it's Up in Smoke 2, I believe, or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see if their acting has gotten any better.
I thought that was like the shtick. Like bad acting was the thing.
Of course, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see those character old.
Well, speaking of store openings, I think we should talk about the OCS store opening, the 4-day pop-up that's happening in Toronto. It's a good segue.
They're allowed to do it, not us.
Just so you know,
Well,
I'm in the process of bringing that up.
I do. The headline is funny. It says OCS to open illegal pop-up cannabis shop in Toronto, but it's not actually going to be a cannabis shop. It's going to look like a cannabis store on the outside in hopes to bring people in thinking it's a real cannabis store. And they're going to use this to educate people.
Yeah, they tried to do that. They opened up, Canopy opened up several stores around Toronto, Hamilton, and other cities in hopes to do something like that and then open lounges. But it didn't work because of the Smoking Act here in Ontario. And they've closed them all. So it's the same kind of thing.
What this shop is doing is having people come in, and it's going to educate them. Their end goal is to educate them between a legal store and a illegal store.
Yeah.
That's the idea behind.
Yeah, but it's just a waste of fucking time. I was in our store here in town, and the amount of literature that they have to put out and make available to their customers is ridiculous. They got flyers on impotence and cannabis and how to use it properly and what happens if you over medicate. It's just producing shit to give somebody a job. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they say here with this campaign, the intention is to reach adult consumers who may not realize they shop at illegal dispensaries or who may believe that all cannabis is created equal in a way that captures their interest and creates conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their main concern is untested product coming into the consumer market. It says 86% of all illegal cannabis edibles that were tested back in 2022 contain multiple pesticides, high levels of these things and toxins. And they're trying to do it for our safety.
Yes. Or
Yeah,
they say
they have a drink there called Pesty Cider.
I've seen that.
And it reads, what gives this cannabis infused cider its signature oomph? We'd like to think it's love, but realistically, it's probably our unregulated use of toxic pesticides.
You know, I just want to remind everybody that up until the late 90s, nothing was tested. Okay.
I'd like to remind people that when legalization first happened, the OCS left it up to the licensed producers to do their own testing.
That's one thing they did change.
Yes.
Test.
That's how it was.
They test products for THC and CBD content because of the fact that labs seem to be a little bit stretched in spots, and it's misleading to the consumers. So the OCS started doing their own testing that way.
Now, but can you send product to them?
No. No, you send them to legacy420.com.
Or you can send them to Dana Larson in Vancouver.
Yeah, Dana Larson will test
anything,
drugs. Yeah,
anything,
and he's done a lot of them over the years. So last I spoke to him, he was at over 60,000 samples that he had tested.
Personally,
the company that he's
I'm just kidding.
Oh no, not
he didn't
personally.
take it all himself.
The machine did, but he, the machine tested them. So yeah. Now, what else does this story say on the OCS? It's the Buzzkill campaign.
I will say, if I'm in Toronto over those 4 days, actually, I think I'm going to be there. I'm going to go check it out.
Send Sherry Ann down to check it out.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, somebody needs to get there. I'm always interested in the information that the OCS provides to retail stores, because most of those retail stores have a section when you go in with a bunch of pamphlets on the table.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, like you walk in the front door of the place here in town, and he's got pamphlets that he has to have there.
Yeah, the
all
OCS
spread out on top of all the cabinets.
Yeah,
but does anybody actually take them? I mean, every now and then we get flyers in the mail every now and then. Still here.
I actually just picked up one about how to know the signs of cannabis poisoning in your children with edibles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to tell they look stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was like signs of like vomiting and things like that. Lethargy.
Don't forget there's, you and I and others have been doing this for years, and there's a lot of people who are new to it.
And they green out.
It also, I just want to say the main point it talks about is the difference between legal and illegal legacy, because legacy is not regulated to 10 milligrams.
No.
You know what I mean? If a kid gets into one legal package, it's only 10 milligrams.
You know what?
Yeah, but it might 10 milligrams. I know an adult said that 10 milligrams is too much.
Yeah, but you're not going to get overdose and end up in the hospital.
I still green out. We call it green out, not overdosing, because there's no real overdose. But I green out. I green myself out probably once or twice a day, and that's out of necessity to get enough in me so that I can fall asleep and wake up with less pain.
Yeah.
Right. Because of the whole that whole entourage effect thing. It actually keeps going even though your buzz is gone, right?
Yeah. And I completely agree. Government messaging can be way out of whack, as we saw in the latest
calling it marijuana.
It's the bottom end of places to get the education from.
They're still calling it marijuana on the Canadian government website.
With the H. Spelled
And
in.
with the H.
Yeah.
And also they still do not, the Canadian government still does not recognize cannabis as a medical use. The only reason that we have a medical program is because they were forced to by the courts.
What's in the picture there, MJ?
So there's a photo of a child trying to help another child into the cupboard.
That's a parent, something that if you're going to use cannabis and you have kids in the house, you need to keep them out of their reach, and you need to have a lockbox. A lot of parents have locked cabinets with the snacks in so that their fucking kids don't overdo it, right? You need to do that with your cannabis. If I had kids running around here, I certainly wouldn't have pot laying all over the place.
So I made my own edibles even when my kids were young. Because they're like, right, like that I couldn't get edibles. I made my own.
That's right.
And I took it upon myself to dye all my food. I've said this for a long time. Dye all of it green. Everything that has cannabis in it. I just took the green food coloring and I made green Rice Krispie squares. I made blondies. I made blondies instead of brownies, so that way I could dye them green. They still taste good. You put chocolate in it, whatever. But the kids knew. I taught them, don't eat anything that's baked green.
Yeah.
Now they know. They just ask.
Well, our kids they grew up around, not being in the room with us, but they grew up around it. They know what it is. We always called it our medicine.
They're not going to come in and just eat your cookie because they know it could have something in it.
I wouldn't say they're not, because you know what? It does happen. Hey, Mom, I'm going to have one of these cookies, and Mom doesn't hear them. I think every parent that is a cannabis user, especially edibles, has had an experience where the kid got into an edible. You're going to have that experience when you're growing up. When I got grown up, I learned how to drink in the fucking park with Bruno Gerussi. Okay.
Well, the part that concerns me is this information here. It says, and this is the Canada website. This is from the pamphlet that I have upstairs.
The official Canadian government website.
Yeah, it says, know the signs and what to do. Accidental poisoning in children from edible cannabis products are a serious risk. Hospitals have seen an increase in visits to the emergency room, and poison centers have seen an increase in calls. Poisonings can be life-threatening, sometimes resulting in coma, being put on a ventilator, or in rare cases, even death. So if you read all of this, it sounds really scary, right?
Yeah.
But first they say accidental poisonings in children from edible cannabis products are a serious risk. That I'm like, is that true? Okay. But it's the poisonings. The word poisoning is throwing me off. Okay.
It's
because
I don't tactic choice of words.
Well, okay. Hospitals have an increase in visits to the emergency room. Maybe because I could see if, like you're saying, parents are buying it and not keeping it.
It's more readily available.
And the kids are getting into it. I could see parents panicking and taking their kid to the hospital because they're worried.
Mm-hmm.
Have poison centers seen an increase in calls? Probably as well. But have these children actually been poisoned? Are they in danger other than... Okay, so here's the signs. Vomiting. Confusion. Yeah, you would be confused. Kid wouldn't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, yeah. Same as a dog. Wouldn't know either.
What?
Unresponsiveness. Well, you'd be tired and sleepy, probably.
Lethargic, as they call it. Yeah.
Slurred speech.
What?
Unsteady on your feet.
I'm always unsteady on my feet.
Drowsy.
I'm always a little drowsy.
Right? It said slow breathing, and then it says seizures, and then in brackets it says rare.
I have a deviated septum, so my breathing is off, yes.
All I can say is I hope that no children are going through the seizures. I hope that they're not going through even just the fear that a child would feel when dealing with this and not knowing, and having a parent that was not smart enough to, like, you know what I mean? I can't
Probably
even say
the
smart enough
same
because
way-
accidents happen, but
Probably the same way I was with my buddies the first time we've got smashed on a bottle of wine. I mean, that feeling of total overwhelming inconsistency and not being able to judge anything, and just it's why I don't like alcohol. Weed doesn't do that.
yeah, I was gonna say I've never felt gross off weed or sick.
Like I said earlier, I green myself out every now and then, and I know that feeling. But it's like eat something or go and pour some pepper in your hand and have a sniff, and it'll stop. I promise.
I just tell myself I'm high, I'm okay, it'll pass.
Look, I came home one night after eating half a dozen 650 plus milligram cookies at the lounge.
Too much.
You think? I didn't know this until halfway through the day when Paula said, "Hey, Al, those cookies are really strong. Careful with those." I'd already had several.
Yeah.
So I got home in the middle of the night, and I crawled into bed and just held on. I mean, everything was moving. I was, and I've had the heart palpitations and all that, having too much oil. I think everybody has done something like that at some point in their career.
Oh yeah. Here's this was some stuff that was put out, and it says it's not worth the risk. And you see the ears on the people. Look at the
Don't start now.
Look at their eyes.
What's wrong with her eyes?
You know, it's like using that "Go for a Soda" song that Kim Mitchell did.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like taking a song that was, yes, don't go drinking, have a soda instead, and turning that into a full out parents against, well, it was like parents, it was MAD, right? That
Mad.
used it? Yeah.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Thank you. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. With two
I'll be right
Ds.
back. Keep
Mad.
They're no longer pushing to go against cannabis, but they don't condone it either.
Well, there's an event happening in Toronto
Okay, there we go.
at a
I'm back.
library that talks about what's more dangerous, the differences between drinking and
saw that.
cannabis and driving.
Yeah. We already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Shall we go on to sports?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I got a story here that talks about how retired sports people are entering the cannabis industry.
Woo-woo.
Yes, a lot of them. And we had Boo Williams on the show a long time ago on the 420 show, as well as Sasha Lakovic, who both have the concussion thing, and they're both now totally immersed in the cannabis industry.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There's lots
Yeah.
of them. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, there's lots of them now. As it mentions, why are athletes turning to cannabis? To say that the athletes are turning to cannabis to deal with pain management, recovery, and mental wellness. They've been doing, I wouldn't doubt they've been doing this behind the scenes, right? And then they say that several high-profile athletes have become cannabis advocates, such as Ricky Williams. He was busted in Toronto back when he played there with the Argos. Rob I can't pronounce that last name. Gronkowski.
I can't even see it.
NBA players such as Al Harrington, UFC fighters, Nate Diaz,
Diaz.
Diaz, yeah.
Yeah.
They say that they're advocating for change.
Yeah.
In order to make changes in the league policies surrounding cannabis. They argue that cannabis offers a safer alternative to opioids and other prescription medications, and they're completely true, right there.
And they're also allowing it now, I believe, in the UFC, and Joe Rogan is a big part of pushing that.
Mhm. Yeah. There has been some updates on them. Let's see here. They say growing cultivation. Now, the future of cannabis in sports, they say, as more retired athletes enter the cannabis industry, their influence is helping to reshape the narrative around cannabis in sports, because as we know, it's always been taboo, right? They say with more athletes speaking out, they may see professional leagues adapt more progressive cannabis policies, allowing players to use cannabis without fear of punishment, which is good. And they say in the conclusion that it offers retired athletes a unique opportunity to combine their personal experience with business acumen. But it gets them involved in doing things and helping people, because if you just quit doing everything and doing nothing, that's never good. It's busy day at the door. Now I got a cat that wants in.
I know, eh?
And it's too cold to leave the door open, right? And
they're walking back and forth. It's lunchtime at 11, so they're pacing, and she wants to go out, and I could hear him in the kitchen. I could hear him in the kitchen.
It's I leave them outside, but it's the knowing that their claws are getting into the seal of the door and ripping it. So, all right, we'll go down to the next segment. Here we go.
You know why those segment things are so long? Just so that way I can try and find the thing on the computer and be ready. But this time I got a doobie in my hand, so I'm excited.
So while you're doing that, I just want to mention that I forgot now. Fuck's sakes.
That's all right. We do.
Was it entertainment related?
I forgot. It was empty. Yes, it was empty. Of course, it was entertainment related.
A movie?
No.
Which
It'll come to you. I went to go see that movie Saturday night.
I've seen so many good movies that lately that I wasn't expecting to be good. But I don't remember the names, which is great because 6 months from now I can watch them over again.
Well, we went to the movie theater on Saturday night to go see Saturday Night.
I wanted to see it. I tried to watch it, couldn't find a good copy. Anyways, go on. How was it?
It was amazing. I will be going back to the theater to watch it again, and I will most likely buy the movie when it comes out. It was so good. If you are a fan of the show Saturday Night Live, it's literally on its 50th year. This last Saturday, it celebrated its 50th anniversary. To see the inception, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want to give anything away. It was so good.
There's also a documentary that was done recently where they take you in a full day production on the day of a show, and you watch exactly how the show's put together and stuff like that. I found that while I was looking for SNL the movie. Right.
Well, I want to know more about Lorne Michaels. He just seemed so.
So go to the old network Bravo. They have what was that show where they feature, and there's one really good one in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
What's it? Biography.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Bravo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's on Bravo now. It's A&E.
Okay. I'm just gonna Google it.
Google it.
Just like I did with all these events. And I will tell you, it was really, really difficult. A lot of them were hard to find information and where to like. So hopefully I've been able to gather enough events so that you guys will find something to do, especially this week. There's a lot of cannabis events. So we're going to start there.
Which page am I bringing up here, MJ?
The one with all the cannabis in the background.
The one with all the cannabis in the background?
This one, that one, or the other one?
Well, yeah, there's three of them, right? So there you go.
What's funny is it's literally, they're all cannabis events, okay? This week is full. And I'm sure you guys know why this week is full of cannabis events.
Correct.
Okay, so
remind us.
More days.
Remind us, yeah. This Thursday we're celebrating 6 years of legalization here in Canada. So
You figured it is 6 years, yes?
what threw me off was that news article or that news thing that I
It said
seen.
7.
It said 7, and I'm like, no. Yeah. So for October cannabis events, we're going to start Tuesday to Thursday this week, the 15th to the 17th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Champs Trade Show is continuing. They've decided with everything that's gone on in Florida, it is more important now than ever for businesses to pull together to support one another to try and make it their business better. So good for them. I hope it's a success. If you're in the Florida area and you're able to go down, check it out.
We've been to a Champs. They had a Champs Expo in Toronto. Only one year.
They had a few of them. Yeah.
They only had the one. Yeah. That was what, 2014, 15.
I mean, they have them scattered all over the place. Yes.
Correct.
They
Yeah.
had the
Big show in the United States. Big show.
Yeah, it didn't do so well here.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
Do so well here. I think probably because of the American the American influence there, right?
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mary Jane, keep going.
Okay, so Thursday, the 17th, of course, I'll be celebrating St. Fatty's Day. Hopefully, we'll all be celebrating 6 years since Canadian legalization. Thursday, also the 17th, the Cannabis Comedy Festival is presenting Legalized in Toronto, Ontario. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Also, I believe on Eventbrite, you can get your Canna Crawl tickets for Saturday the 19th. They're having their Fall Fest. However, don't expect to know the location until the day of,
the night before. Yeah.
At noon. They said they're going to send out.
Okay.
Day of now, eh?
Day of at noon, which I will say I understand. I've been in the industry long enough.
Sure.
I know why they do it. The
Yeah,
only
but-
thing I wish they did. So Karma Cup did this. Karma Cup
Correct.
would tell you the area.
They tell you Toronto. You knew it was going to happen in Toronto. This just says Ontario. Like we're a
Yeah,
big
it
province.
literally it just said location TBA.
Yeah, but
At
the
noon.
crawl-
And I'm
the
guessing
crawl
it's
has-
probably Hamilton area.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna
at
say.
the same place that they've been doing it for a while.
I and see, as somebody who's been once, I'm like just a little bit more clarity. Give me a city. Because I live not in where most
Yes,
people live.
exactly.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
We don't have a
I've been
Canna
to
Crawl
several of the
in
Canna
Ontario.
Crawls over the years. I used to go with Ira, and we used to sit on the stage and blab all day.
Yeah.
And they're usually at the same location. But who knows? I have not been in many years.
You could be right. The building that you're describing sounds like the building I went to. So
A few years ago?
it was like last year.
Last year, you would have gone to the community center. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most likely it's in the same spot. If you've
Or in
been
the same
to a
area,
bunch of Canna Crawls, you're in the know, but that is happening this Saturday.
And also, before you go on to the next one, I want to make sure that we mention that on the 24th is the Karma Cup thing. party,
the awards party.
Yeah, and that is and one of the nights this week is the hemp. No, what is it? What is the one? Is it on Friday, Mary Jane?
What's that?
There's an event on Friday. Anyway, Sherry Ann will be on our show, on the 420 show, live from there, whenever that is. I think it's next weekend, next Friday.
I think you said it was like a Boo Bash or something.
I can't even remember the name of the darn thing. Well, keep going with what you're thinking.
If it was on, if MJ knew, it would be on the list.
So here's the thing, guys. We do events every week. So when I do the events, I really try and just stick it to like this upcoming week. So anything that's like the 24th or like,
okay,
for
so we'll
example,
include
like
it
in
again.
November.
I'll make sure we get all that information.
Please, yes, yeah. And I think that Sherry Ann's going to, because
Sherry Ann is going to both the one on the Friday as well as to the Karma Cup thing.
Yes. Yeah. Sherry Ann's been my, I send her messages every now and then. I'm like, hey, any new events? Because she's got her finger on the pulse when it comes to events. So
In Toronto, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Ontario.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
But I just want to say, before we move on to the next page, also happening this Saturday, which I'm personally excited about because I have tickets for this, is the Paradox Autumn Soiree at the Actors Audition Club in Toronto, held by the Discipline Stoners, 11 and Winnie. There's going to be some comedy, some freestyle rapping, some music. It's going to be good. I'm excited.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. And then if you wanted to go to the October is for Fun, the burgundy looking is the burgundy looking one.
The burgundy looking one.
Yep.
Okay, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, there it is.
Again with that.
No, first I said that's what she said. Now that's what he said. Okay. So this is a specific event I'm going to talk to you about. It's called it's part of the Bud Tender Surprise and Delight series. They're now in season 3. They have Puff and Putt. There is, what's the other one? A Bong and Pong. This is their Roll and Bowl. I will tell you, out of experience and a little bit of disappointment, I know you see bowling pins and a bowling ball. However, do not expect real bowling. I went to the Toronto location. As you can see, it says Toronto Beach Club. There is no bowling alley at the beach club, but what they did have was Wii bowling. So
I love Wii bowling.
So they do provide you an experience to bowl. But
Cool.
Happening this Wednesday in Ottawa, Ontario at the Preston Event Center. They're having the event there. In Toronto, that will be Thursday the 17th at the Toronto Beach Club. The 21st, next week, Monday, Manitoba, you've got yours. And then next Tuesday, Saskatchewan. Help me out here.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Thank you. At the Capital Music Club, as well as in Calgary, Alberta, the Commonwealth Bar. You guys both have your day on the 22nd. They did have their info on Eventbrite, but Eventbrite just took down I fucking hate Eventbrite for this. It's a legal cannabis event. Stop doing that. So if you want tickets to that, I ended up going to their Instagram page and then was able to link through that way. So you can get that information.
There was an OCS.
Is it only open to bud tenders?
I would think.
I believe so. Yes, you have to have your. That is a. You have to have your cancel.
Yeah, that sucks.
Although I wonder if you can go to that event and not have your cancel, but not get samples, because a lot of events are like
only
that.
Because they have sampling, so that's probably why they have bud tenders only.
But most of those you have to show a thing to get a sample, anyways. So maybe you could bring a friend, and they're really trying to incorporate a bring a friend type thing.
They need to start incorporating fucking patrons, not just bud tenders.
Public.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, they want to be able to sell at those locations.
Oh,
too.
I'm sure they do. It's
Yeah.
fucking frustrating. You should be able to, just like we say this all the time when you go to the supermarket or you go down to St. Lawrence Market in Toronto. Excuse me, would you like to try some of our wine? Would you like a shot of vodka? Would you like to try this weed that we have? Sure. I don't drink. Thank you. I'd love to.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I know that, I've been to the National Women's Show, and one aisle over from the TY booth, they were giving out samples of alcohol, like wine and stuff, 25 cents or 50 cents, whatever it was for a sample. And that money went towards a charity of some sort.
There was an argument going on Reddit, about cannabis events in the States having liquor, license for liquor, and having a lounge area that you could consume liquor and no consumption lounge area. And I was like, they've been doing that pretty much the whole time they've been doing cannabis events up here for the legal market. They've always got alcohol available on the floor somewhere.
And you couldn't consume cannabis.
Like you can't consume cannabis.
At a cannabis event at that.
And in Canada, the same entity that controls alcohol controls cannabis and gambling, I believe.
Well, I found that a lot of cannabis events, even though more recently, more cannabis events, although selling alcohol, are still providing a space for cannabis consumption.
In the last
it's still
year.
not out, it's still outside.
In the last year.
Correct. And there are some that are better than others. One event, it was the Kind Winter Fair. I felt very outcasted as a cannabis consumer last year. You had to smoke in this long alley, and there was a couple heaters, but it was like bent. It was just, it didn't feel comfortable. Whereas when we went to Elevate, they had a whole area where it was a tent and nice comfortable seating and fake plants and fake grass, and it was a whole vibe. It's just ridiculous. I feel like it's different. Just give me a little bit more, which is why I'm super excited. Can we go to the last one, the last event page? Which is the
last event page. Yeah, here we go. There he is.
All right, so this one here is specifically put on by Euphoria Extractions. You guys know the Shatter Bar?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're presenting Euphoria Emporium at the Boardroom Toronto. It's happening from the 18th to the 31st. They've got a whole slew of activities planned. So Friday and Saturday, the 18th and 19th, they got to make your own Shatter Bar workshop. I think it's 3 bars for $60. On the 19th, they're going to have a paint party with neon paints. I think that one was $40. I'm not sure. You'll have to double check all the prices on the Boardroom Cafe event after, or website after. On the 25th, Chef Pat Newton is going to be doing some cake decorating tips. You'll be able to get your own cake, decorate, celebrate Euphoria's 8th birthday. On the 26th, they're doing a Wicked Beats and costume party with pumpkin carving and music. And from the 18th to the 31st, pretty much all those other dates I didn't mention, they're having movie screenings almost daily. So
for
definitely
different movies. Okay.
For different movies. Some of them back to back, 2 movies. And Psycho was one of the movies that I seen. I know we were talking about that one earlier. But definitely if you're in the Toronto area, check out the Boardroom Cafe website, check out their events. It's going to be a lot of fun. I might end up at that cake decorating thing.
We used to have a movie night at the lounge, and just whoever was there, we'd put a movie on Netflix or whatever. And I love that. I mean, you usually don't, in those situations, you don't usually end up watching the movie, but it creates an atmosphere for chilling with your friends and meeting new people. And I really miss that atmosphere that lounge atmosphere. You've been there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Did you ever come to Gunjanistas, Al? I know Mary Jane did.
No,
No,
I don't think so. No,
I missed that place. Even though a lot of the afternoons were just me sitting with my dog, not doing much of anything but smoking pot. But I do that at home anyways. So
yeah. All righty. Anything else on the events and entertainment end of things?
No.
I'll find out that information about Karma
When that
Company.
event is. Yeah.
Okay.
The other event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a review, but I don't have a video yet because I've been too busy trimming.
Pruning
and other things. But yeah. I was driving through town there on Friday. Thought, okay, well, my vape pen's almost empty. I better go grab another one. So I grabbed this one, highly Dutch organic.
Okay.
It says
What's the strain?
I wanted live rosin.
Mhm.
So I got this one that they had, Amsterdam rosin. And yeah, it's a 79% on the THN scale. Now, as
What's
far
that
as
word?
taste, which is a big thing for me when it comes to taste,
Yeah.
I enjoy taste, but I don't know. I think the city of Amsterdam
Removed it.
is
Doesn't taste very good.
well. I like something that's flavorful,
Fruity. I like fruity.
fruity flavor,
Yeah.
citrusy.
Yeah.
This tastes to me like a small degree of the city's on fire. There's a bit
Well,
of
that's unfortunately one of the reasons I don't use those pens, Al, is unfortunately they usually taste burnt to me.
What type of battery are you using, Al?
this one. It's non-adjustable.
Okay, so
Is it just an all-in-one throwaway?
No, I can charge it. No, the
So-
battery itself. No, this is a cartridge. This is a cartridge itself, right?
can I see the battery though?
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you have the Bot Hawks, okay. So or the Box Hot, Bot Hawks. A lot of the times, the batteries, I don't even have a tin. So depending on the terpenes in the concentrate that you're taking, you might need to
Yeah.
adjust the battery level. Your
Right.
battery could be too high, and that's why it tastes like it's
That's
burnt.
like the Shatterizer does that
Yeah.
as well. Sometimes if you have it on too high, it can burn it. Like
Do you have a Shatterizer battery?
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I wouldn't suggest that, Mary Jane. The one that you sent me, I used my Shatterizer battery on it, and it melted it.
It made it good. Well, you have to put on the low setting.
It was on the low
Yeah.
setting. It
And I
started
know-
oozing and
So tribal sells, and you can get this at the Campbellford Spirit Leaf. They sell a battery. It's about, I think it's, is it $20? I think it's only like $20 for this battery,
Right.
but it's
That's not bad.
adjustable by 0.1 volt.
Oh,
what are those cartridges worth, Al?
I'd say
the
about
cartridge
45,
itself.
50.
Yeah.
This one with tax was like $30. It was half a gram.
I've been buying
half
hash.
gram.
I've been buying Vortex hash. I get 2 grams for $38, or I get Shatter, which is 35 or so. And I last week I got some TWD, which is tweed. They're indica. It's only 18%, and it's got a little bit of CBD, so I'm not getting that panicky. If I've got too
Right.
much THC, makes me kind of anything over 22, 23. I'm like but different strains, right?
Yeah.
And I've got some Slurricane. I got some Slurricane.
I had an adjustable battery, but it died.
That's usually
Yeah.
the case. Yeah.
So I was SOL, right? So I just said, "Hey, I need a battery," and they threw that.
I
at me.
recently found my first herb vaporizer.
Oh,
my
is that
first
one with a
pen.
little electric coil inside it.
Yeah, that's
But
the
the
one.
the G pen. I
The
think
G-
everybody
that's the
had
one.
that.
That's the one. Yep.
I know. I sold a bunch of those.
All right, so as far as to finish up on this review thing, you guys are saying it's not the product, it's the battery.
It's
I would
probably
say
you're
try a different battery.
burning it. That's what it sounds like to me, Al. You're burning
Yeah.
it.
All right. I'll have
Yeah.
to do that. Look into a different battery. Oh no, that's not a different battery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
All right.
suggest one of those tribal little box ones. They come in different colors, and I know you can get them
Oh,
in
yeah.
Campbellford. So
Yeah, I just hey, give me a battery. I need a battery. I didn't ask for anything specific, right? So,
yeah.
but it makes sense. Burn if it's too hot.
Wait, your battery. Push the button 3 times.
That's you. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like the Shatterizer.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
change the setting.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Put it on
Flash
went
a different
red.
color.
There
Okay.
you go. You've got
Now
different
try
heat
that.
centers. Yeah,
Try that. That's a different setting.
It went white.
he's happy because he's allowed to vape in the house.
So try each
Yeah.
setting with
I'm allowed-
that.
I can vape in the house. That's why you see me with the vape in the house.
Al, try each different color, and you'll
Okay.
see one of them will taste less like. I don't know which one is the lowest on yours, like which color.
I've asked Matt.
I
many
actually I have
times.
it. I kept the instructions on this one.
Oh, so you'll
tell me
know.
I've asked Matt many times if he knows the actual temperature of each setting on the Shatterizer pen. And
No,
he
they
won't
know
tell
the
me.
they know
He
the
won't tell
volt.
me.
I think they
Yeah,
know the voltage.
I was just gonna say, yeah, they know the voltage. They said, well, it's this much voltage, and I said, but you don't know the temperature. I give him a hard time about that.
I guess if you really wanted to know, buy a temperature gun.
Well,
Yeah.
I've said that. Yeah, I said, I'll just use a temperature gun. I was like, fuck you, I'll just use a temperature gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt and I are like little boys when we're together, as Mary Jane knows.
That's funny. Different.
Yeah.
Is it different, Al? Yeah, you can taste the difference. Look, he's gonna be happy.
He's gonna be fried. It's not even Friday.
Well, the green is green color is the I'm gonna say the lower temperature because I'm noticing there's less vapor.
Yeah. Can you get more flavor though?
Not yet. I'll have to let you know.
I buy all the fruity ones, the ones that are probably bad for me because it's got a bunch of that botanical terps in it.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't like the flavored stuff. I
don't use it that often.
If I want flavor, I'm gonna smoke a joint that's got some flavor.
Yeah, when I grabbed this one, I flipped it over and started reading the information on it, and she sort of looked at me and I said, "I'm looking for the words added flavor agents."
A lot of the I don't have a bag here, but a lot of the sellers or growers, legal growers, they're now putting the terpenes on as well as the THC and CBD. They're listing terpenes as well on some packages, not this one though.
So I'm wondering if Al's package for his vape pen on the back has a label that tells you optimal voltage
what he's got in his hand.
meters.
It just says adjustable temperature preheat function, 650 milliamps.
Oh, that's the battery.
That's
What
the
does it
battery.
say?
Now, as far as each one, it just says green is low, blue is medium, and red is high.
Okay, but on your vape cartridge package, on the tin, on the back, no.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Vape cartridge. Yeah, okay.
Does it say anything about optimal vape battery temperature or voltage?
No.
No. See, and this is why I'm sorry. I'll just
done.
shout out to Tribal, shout out to Nugs, shout out to Orchid CBD because I bought
Wow.
I bought an Orchid CBD vape and I bought a Tribal vape. And on the back of them, it actually tells you on the back of the tin the optimal vape cartridge or like the battery
really, eh?
temperature.
Really?
And then on the battery, like I'm saying, on the battery, you can adjust it to like 2.4 volts.
Yeah, I had a battery that on the bottom.
There's one.
It
So-
told you the megahertz that it was putting out, the voltage.
So
and
like
stuff. Yeah.
I just want to, and I'm like, look at this little tin. I use it for my doobies. My vape cartridge came in a little foam thing inside here. And on the back, it actually says 2.0 to 2.5 volts is what I
Oh.
should use. And that was the shit, what was that? I
Yeah.
don't even remember.
My last pen had that on the bottom. It had the dial and it told you. That's
Yep.
the one that died.
Canara Biotech.
I just noticed something about the package. It does give me terpenes.
Nice.
Farnesene.
Farnesene.
I think they have to now. So anything new
Fido
coming out, you're
and,
going to see the terpenes.
Lemonine. Now, what
Ooh,
probably
I like limonene.
the one thing that I did not check on this label was package date.
Did you get an old one?
January 2023.
Wow.
It's almost 2 years old.
But I don't.
So I
don't
wonder
think,
if you could call and say like it has no flavor.
I don't think
There's
that
too much
hasn't
flavor.
I don't think that the liquid has an expiry date. I don't think it degrades like
They don't
like
know.
raw cannabis. would.
I don't
No
think they
expiry
even know
date has
yet.
been determined.
They don't know.
They don't know.
But
They
if
don't
you
know.
called and complained
I don't
and
know.
said like it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like
I don't know.
dirt.
What's that? Well, what's Amsterdam taste like?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time since I've been there.
So yeah, okay, so there we go.
Now you see. Now you learned something today, Al.
I
How
feel
to
like that was
adjust
too.
your pen.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
two
forgot.
reviews.
Well, I forgot about the pushing the button thing, the same as the Shatterizer. And just so you know, Matt does not recommend swapping batteries and things like that.
No,
No,
I
he
knew
does
as soon as
not.
I said it. Well, you know what
Did
the
he
saddest
message you?
part?
No, I posted a picture years ago.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
He gets
he
quite
wrote
annoyed
that.
when you. He gets quite annoyed when you adapt things that he does not.
Which is funny
condone.
because shout out to Matt. How was the Shatterizer even first designed? By him putting a bunch of things, figuring out what works
Together.
best.
Yeah, no,
like,
I know. Yeah,
but I just want to say the worst part about like I've done that in a pinch. I've used my Shatterizer thing, but the thing that's the biggest piss off is the fact that it goos up my Shatterizer battery, and then there goes I don't want to get rid of it.
Matt and Val in a pinch. Tell them that you just put a bud in one of the large 3-coil
The coil
coil cups.
Yeah.
And it works. But
It's like a G pen.
No, don't tell people that.
Yeah, it's a Shatterizer. It's for like concentrates. What are you
That's right.
doing?
It does work. How do
That's
I
right.
know? Because I'm one of their chief testers. That's how I know.
That's funny. Yeah, don't do it.
I need a
Just
new
don't do it.
battery, Matt. By the way.
Alrighty, guys. Anything else? I see it's almost 12 o'clock. We've been going for 2 hours.
No, I think
Dog
I said
walk
everything
time.
I needed to say.
And then some.
All right. I gotta go to the post office. So,
Are you trying to get out of here, Al?
yeah, it's almost the top of the hour. I'm looking at the 2 hour podcast here.
So I've learned that Al's life is not his own. It's his animals, and he lives for them. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Me or him?
Well, I
Or
guess
Al?
the both of you, because
Both of us.
if we would have finished half an hour ago, I'm sure Rosa would have been like, "Oh, you're done? You're done? Let's go.
She's right
Let's
here
go."
beside me, laying on the floor, slowly creeping towards the
See?
kitty litter box for snacks because she hasn't had her lunch yet. Okay, say
Yeah.
goodnight.
Yeah.
It's not nighttime.
All right.
Say good afternoon.
We'll
Say
see
good
you- we'll see you
afternoon.
next week.
Exactly. All right, we'll see you all next week, same time, same place.
Same weed channel, same weed.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys. You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.